If you do not have this book, don't worry. I'm going to read the entire book on my TikTok. Need, the 5,000. The story of the 5,000. A large crowd from various communities hurried together to seek Jesus. Jesus perceives and tends to their holistic needs. Key moment is Mark 6:30-45. The outline says, perhaps it starts as a small trickle of people picking up steam with each new town they pass. Eventually, like a crowd of marathon runners, they are jogging in a large, unruly pack of thousands, which some translations say they hurried, and original Greek uses a word that could be translated as they ran together or they rushed together. They are running together, people from different towns and different families, people with different occupations and life experiences and personalities, united only by their urgent need to be where Jesus is. They know they need something from Jesus. They recognize Jesus getting away in his boat, and they waste no time setting off on foot in pursuit. What exactly did they need? First, the crowd needs compassion. When Jesus reaches the other side of the lake, he sees the crowd and has loving pity for them. In Greek, that's a strong word. Literally, Jesus is moved to the bowels. Jesus is moved because he sees that the crowd needs all things sheep need from a shepherd: guidance, wisdom, direction, safety. Amen. They need protection from their predators. Who are they? Well, who are many, from occupying Roman armies to predatory money lenders and tax collectors to corrupt religious leadership. All these are referenced in Mark 6:33, Mark 6:34. The crowd also needs teaching. They hurried around the lake to meet Jesus because they know they need to hear what he has to say. They are hungry to know how to live. They are starving for peace and wholeness in a violent world, for justice in an unjust world. And so Jesus teaches them. Perhaps the crowd is so transfixed by Jesus' storytelling that as the day begins to fade to evening, they hardly realize they are hungry for food. Perhaps they have not been able to carry much with them on their long jog around the lake. Most are very materially poor. Perhaps many don't know where their next meal is coming from. The disciples asked Jesus to send the crowd away to buy dinner for themselves, but Jesus understands needs are not just spiritual or emotional. They are tangible and material as well. He asked the disciples to feed the crowd themselves. It is a baffling instruction. They hardly have money for a feat like that. But Jesus isn't concerned about the resources they don't have. Instead, he wants to help the whole community find and share what they do have. The disciples survey the crowd and report back 5 loaves, 2 fish. Jesus thanks to God for these communal resources, scant as they may seem. As Jesus breaks the bread and asks his disciples to distribute it to the people, the miracle happens. The bread is not running out, and neither is the fish. Everyone is eating and everyone has plenty. In the Greek, they are filled to the full. They are satisfied completely. Their needs are met with surprising, miraculous, communal abundance. And perhaps this is the one last thing the crowd needs. They need to know that with God, everyone eats to the full. Truly, everyone, and there are plenty of leftovers. At God's table, everything is shared, and everyone's needs are seen and provided for. At God's banquet, there is no need to compete, no need to push and shove to be first in line for food. There is only an invitation to sit down, rest, and let God provide. The God of Jesus is a God who meets human need with divine abundance. This comes in reference from Mark 6:42, Mark 6:43. So something this can be related to today. Jesus cares about the entire holistic needs of people. Today, just as in Jesus' times, many people have needs that go beyond just the spiritual. They have serious material needs too. And a need for comfort and affordable housing, the need for a car, the need for health care, the need for work that pays a livable wage. Jesus doesn't callously tell people not to worry about these things. Rather, he meets these needs as part of caring for the whole human being. He takes tangible steps to make sure no one goes hungry. As Dante Stewart writes in Shouting in the Fire, an American epistle, When Jesus healed people, he wasn't just concerned about their souls. He was concerned about their bodies. Bodies caught up in oppression and exploitation. Bodies forgotten by the community and the empire. Bodies caught up in the streets. Jesus cares about whole people and about all people. He cares about the people our society tends to overlook and undervalue. If God is a God who meets human need with divine abundance, what does that look like in our communities? Who isn't experiencing this abundance? What are the barriers that keep them from it? And what would it look like for those barriers to be removed? We are united at God's banquet table by our common neediness. Our needs are part of our humanity. They are nothing to be ashamed of. We are meant to care for others and to be cared for by others in healthy, interdependent communities. Across the world, mutual aid networks are doing just that. Ordinary people are coming together in creative and cooperative ways to meet one another's needs. How aware are we of our needs? How willing are we to share our needs with others? What might it look like to bravely and vulnerably name our needs in all forms and to support others as they do the same? We can pause, sit up straight, take a deep breath. Using the art element on the previous page, take a moment to reflect on the story. That was an incredible story, by the way. Ponder. Invite God to speak with you. What is your reaction to the thought of expressing your needs? What does it look like to be open to others caring for your needs? How aware are we of the needs of those around us? Are there people in our society that we may overlook? How can we learn their needs better? How does the feeling of scarcity prohibit us from helping each other? How does Jesus show us that there is abundance today? So we can close this reflection and pray. God of abundance, help us to believe that you meet the needs of all. When our bodies grumble and our legs are tired, may we rest together and be filled to the full. Amen. So if you guys want, make sure you like and follow so you can see more chapters of this book.